What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Our Last Stand MMA. I'm excited to talk to you guys today about the process of getting ready for an MMA smoker. As many of you guys know, the journey to being a fighter is very lonely, but it could also be very rewarding. This is going to be my fifth smoker that I'm doing proudly between Muay Thai, which is my primary martial art. And by the way, I train out of Revolution Dojo out in Katy, Texas. I'm a striker first, and BJJ is my secondary martial art with a background of wrestling in high school. Originally, I'm from New York, and I was a football player in college, so just a little bit of background there. When it comes to getting ready for your smoker, you're going to have a couple of things to think about. One is that the preparation for it and the weight cut is going to be just like a real fight. You're going to want to push yourself intensely to match the cardio that you're going to experience during a fight. If this is your first time fighting in a real fight scenario, full bore, you're going to want to double, triple down on your cardio. I'm telling you guys right now, it is not as easy as you think. People say, oh, it's only 2 minutes. It's only 3 minutes. I'm telling you, today we had a guy that's never sparred hard before to get ready for a fight. And when we were doing our rounds for MMA, we just did boxing, technical boxing, and then we went to takedowns with ground game. These guys were not ready to roll. It's really important to understand that cardio aspect is probably more important, if not as important, as your technique. And I think a lot of people would probably, that have fought before, would probably agree with me that cardio is the single most important thing outside of your technique. It's almost as equal, if not more equal. Especially when you have two equally yoked fighters, cardio wins. All right, second thing to think about. When you're getting ready for your fight, you do not know typically who you are fighting unless the promoter or the coach that's doing the smoker puts up a public list and then creates the matches. Even then, honestly, I look at a smoker as if it was a scrimmage, football analogy. So, or baseball or basketball, whichever sport you could relate to. It's like a scrimmage. You're going to put the intensity into it, but it doesn't count towards your actual record, right? All the preparation that you would do for a scrimmage is the same. It's live. It's full go. The difference is MMA obviously is not a game, right? So you want to be able to protect yourself at all times. And if you feel like you're not ready, pull yourself out. Your coaches will push you. Some coaches will say, you tell me when you're ready. But in my experience, it's best when you're mentally 100% there. And I have another video that I'm going to come out with that talks about balancing, pushing yourself past your perceived limits, and then balancing that with your mental health and understanding how much you can take mentally, because fighting is not just physical, it's also that mental preparation, that mental exhaustion at times that can creep up. And so think about that. Treat it like a scrimmage. The next thing to think about is when you actually arrive to the smoker for weigh-ins, you're going to have to weigh in at what the weight was that you signed up at. If not, the person that you are fighting can bow out and take another fight, and then you're left stranded, which would suck. Also, expect complete and utter chaos. The fans are going to be sitting right where there's some guy warming up. Heavyweight, lightweights, middleweights, welterweights, everybody's just warming up in the same spot. Spectators are either in front or behind or to the side, wherever they could fit in the gym. Typically, they also have to take their shoes off. There may or may not be chairs there. If there's not, the fans are going to have to usually pay an entry fee and then sit barefoot or with socks on the actual mat that we train and spar in for the hosting gym. Now, let's talk about the actual fight itself. When you're there, you're preparing, you're getting ready. If there was a match set or a set match list that was there prior, you know who your guy is, you know when you're up. Things may jumble a little bit, and that's why I'm saying it's chaotic. You might have a board or you might have a sheet that's there on the day of the fight. You have to check that list, make sure that you're keeping track of where you are on that list. It can shuffle. It's happened to me a couple of times already. And so that's also the cool part about being mentally prepared. It's almost like a street fight. You don't know when it's going to come, as opposed to like a sanctioned exhibition for an amateur or a pro fight, where you know, all right, I'm going to be next after this guy. And even those fights sometimes, like I've been to a couple of submission pro hunters, which aren't fights, but they're grappling exhibitions, and they will shuffle that around too sometimes. So be on the lookout for that. The actual fight itself, now say you're warming up. You want to warm up about 2 to 3 fights ahead of when you're going. You want to break a sweat. It's like as important as cardio. You would think that these things are things that fighters would know innately. Sometimes the nerves get in the way, and then your primal brain takes over, your caveman brain takes over. Don't do that. Have a set plan up until the fight. Obviously, with the fight, you're going to have to adjust to your opponent when you're in the cage, but just think about what you want to do for your routine. I have a set playlist on Spotify. My pre-fight playlist's got like 108 songs on it. I go through it and hit shuffle, and I'm mentally preparing. I have my hoodie up. I'm starting to do my double legs, my single legs, setting up shots, right? I'm also praying. I'm very spiritual. I believe in God wholeheartedly, Christian man. And the spiritual game has a lot to do with my mental preparation. You better believe it. And then thinking about after I start to break a sweat a little bit, I'll then hit pads 2 to 1 fights out from when I'm fighting. And so you think about like how pad work has everything to do with your rhythm and everything to do with getting yourself, mentally prepared to actually fight. Coach Zahabi, which is GSP's coach, talks about your fight or flight response. If you're a nervous guy, you want to get up and you want to start moving around. You might feel like you're draining energy, but you're not. I promise you, you'll feel better once you start moving, because your brain then tells you you are not fighting for survival. You're not running away. You're fighting. You're in it. You're doing the action. And so it shuts off that part of your brain saying we're in trouble. And it says, all right, it's go time. I'm here. I'm doing what I've practiced, what I've trained myself to do, and I'm going 110%. In the actual cage, it feels awesome. Once that bell goes off and it's on, it feels like when you're rumbling for your first street fight, right? Like it's exhilarating, it's adrenaline packed. That's why we do it. I think if you get nervous leading up to it, which everybody does to some extent, in that moment when you hear that bell go off, your training kicks in, all of it takes over, and it's a beautiful thing. I will say, again, cardio is so important because you will get gassed way harder in the fight, and you won't realize it until you're sucking wind. Don't forget to breathe, right? In through the nose, out through the mouth as you're exhaling and throwing your punches, your kicks, right? Don't forget to breathe, pace and breathe. I like to throw jabs and crosses just to feel out my guy and see what he's going to do at the opening bell. And then as soon as I start to get a read on him, then I start mixing it up with some uppercuts, some hooks. And then I finish off my combos always with a leg kick or a knee. For me, my fights have went beautifully so far. I lost one smoker. Technically in smokers, they don't have a win-loss, but I submitted a guy for a couple, and then another one with a knockdown and some really good combos that I threw that it was obvious that I won the fight. But they won't actually call it for a win. They'll tell you that it's just for experience, which is why it's, again, like a scrimmage. But going back to how it felt for me, I was very flowy, very flowy. I felt pretty good. I'm a confident fighter. With holes in your game, you want to make sure that you address them beforehand, because if you're in a real fight, especially if you're on bottom with a grappler that's on top of you with good top pressure and knows his submissions, has a really good offense, you want to at least know how to escape from bottom and have amazing defense. That's something that I've worked on tirelessly. And I really enjoy no-gi for that, because it gives you that real experience that you're going to feel in the cage. And make sure you roll with the really spazzy guys too, because you want to get that feeling of what it's going to be like when adrenaline is pouring out of both fighters, of both of you guys. And so you don't want to have such a controlled pace sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to like let it rip. For striking, I would say really err on the side of caution when you're doing that with someone who's unexperienced. Jiu-jitsu is different. It's rolling. It's more of a game. Muay Thai, striking, MMA, it's not. You want to go with someone that you can do a controlled hard spar. They know how to basically pepper their shots in and throw the hard ones with body shots and lay off a little bit when it comes to those head shots. But all in all, amazing experience. If you're thinking about doing a smoker, I say do it, jump in, but make sure you're mentally prepared for what you're about to put yourself through, your body through. It's extraneous. But as you do each smoker, each time, you get a little less anxious, a little less anticipatory of the event because you've been through it. And it's good to get that experience to just mix it up. And then you bring more confidence to the table as a fighter. Again, guys, my name is Chris. Thank you again for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe, and leave your comments below. If you are a fighter and you enjoy doing smokers, or if you're a fighter that did smokers and then jumped to amateurs and pros, let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.